Welcome, PFL fight fans, to Orlando, Florida once again. Our first 4 events will take place in the City Beautiful for our 2025 PFL World Tournament. Last week, it was a great start. Welterweights and featherweights, they had Gene. Big statement win there, the former champion of Lead High. Tough test, but he got through, as did Jesus Pinedo. The Mute is back, and back with a vengeance. And how about the ass-kicking machine, Jason Jackson, main event winner for our first event of the 2025 World Tournament. Fighters arriving for our weigh-ins here tonight at Universal Studios. Liz Carmouche, Lara Jawani, that is your co-main event. And then the main event in the Bantamweight division, Leandro Higo, Marcirli Alves, in a fight that just came together.
The next chapter of the PFL World Tournament. 8 weight classes.
Oh, big right hand.
8 fighters in each. Single elimination.
And there's the tap!
64 fighters from across the globe, each with their own story.
Só quero olhar para frente, futuro.
With their own dreams.
There it is!
All of them ready to put it all on the line. For their one shot at greatness.
Declaring your winner via TKO, Juliana Velasquez!
This is the PFL World Tournament.
One shot in Central Florida to advance through the first round to the semifinals of the 2025 PFL World Tournament. We're here in Universal Studios. The stage is set. Time for the weigh-ins. Sean O'Connell, Randy Couture, Dan Hardy. We also have Jonathan Coachman and Kennedy Smith in the building. We'll hear from them shortly, but it's a different weight class, different couple of weight classes, same story. You got one opportunity, win in advance. If you lose, you hit the reset button. You hope for the invite back next year. No room for error, Dan Hardy.
I love it. I love no room for error. And the thing is, the fighters last week, they set such a high standard. You know, the women's flyweights and the bantamweights are sitting at home watching these fights thinking, you wait till I get in that SmartCage. We know the bantamweights, the women's flyweights always deliver, and the fights on this card are going to give us some fireworks.
Well, you're going to have high-paced fights at 125 pounds. You're going to have incredibly high-paced fights at 135 pounds in the men's bantamweight division as well, Randy. This is a look at our women's flyweight bracket. Velasquez, Shakalova, Watanabe, and Bishop. That is a grappler's special. Liz Carmouche still going strong. She takes on the Lara Jawani, a challenger a lot younger than her. And then Elora Dana and Diana of Saragova. And again, you're building towards an opportunity for a tournament championship and ultimately, probably a matchup with Dakota Ditcheva if you can get all the way through this tournament. Randy, what are you thinking about this women's flyweight class? It is again, relatively new to the PFL.
It's an amazing group of women. I mean, Liz Carmouche is always fun to talk to. She's got such an amazing fight IQ, but right on down the line, Velasquez, a former champ of Bellator. There are a lot of really badass women in this division.
A little shuffling of the deck in the bantamweight division. So let's take a look at that bracket. Fighters coming in prepared to fight whoever they need to get to that championship. And because of a few weight misses, some of these matchups changed today on weigh-in day. Leandro Higo, Marcirli Alves, these guys know each other very well. Matos Hadley, Kasumov, Wetzel. Nutsi versus Gutierrez, a sprinkling of styles here. Grapplers, strikers, and deep gas tanks on all of these guys. Let's take a look at one half of our main event, Dan Hardy. Leandro Higo came over from the Bellator roster. He's among the best in the world at 135 pounds.
There's no doubt about that, Sean. A lot of people are going to be looking at him in this bracket and wondering who's going to be the biggest test for him. But we like Leandro Higo because he's reckless and he's aggressive. He's trained by the Pitbull brothers, and he carries that flag with a lot of pride. He wants to represent the brothers really, really well. So that aggression is a part of his style, but he's got someone that's going to meet him with that aggression in this main event.
Randy, you see the resume there. He is making his PFL debut, but 23 wins, 20 of those have come inside the distance. He is a finisher.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the opponent changed at the last minute. You got to walk out in that cage and do what you do and not let the rest of that weigh on you. Go out and execute. And you don't want to blink with these guys. They are so fast.
You know, Jonathan Coachman added so much to the broadcast last week. He did such a great job. I decided we could bring him back for week 2.
Good work, Sean.
And he's here with us for the weigh-ins.
Well, that's very, very nice of you, Sean. And we're getting fancy in the truck. Zach, my man, doing work. Come on over here. It was great week 1. And even losing a voice is not going to keep me from tonight because I am fired up. And if this week is anything like last week, we're going to have absolute bangers. As always, me and my guys right here, we got here early this week and wanted to sit down with a lot of the fighters before they had to do their last-minute preparation. And there are photo shoots, there's sparring, all that kind of stuff. They even went a little bit deeper in coaches' conversations. I encourage you to go check out PFL Socials, also the PFL YouTube page for all of our interviews with the fighters prior to the fights. I would use the phrase quiet confidence to describe a lot of these fighters heading into Friday night. Now standing by with one of the stars on the women's side, let's send it over to Kennedy Smith. Kennedy, good evening.
Thanks, Coach. I'm with the most energetic person in the room. This is Liz Carmouche. You are 15 years into your career, and you seem more motivated than ever. Where does that come from?
Yeah, I think I'm just a late bloomer. I had that like mind-body connection later than most athletes, and so I'm getting inspired and excited later than most people do.
So we're getting a treat. PFL All Access is following you around all day today, all day tomorrow, getting ready for the fight. How has that been? Cameras on you.
Yeah, not bad at all. You know, they're not too invasive. They just have like the right energy coming into things.
So you were telling me earlier about your bucket list submission, the Supergirl, or as I'm going to be calling it, the Supermoosh. Can you give us a hint if we might see that tomorrow, what it might look like, anything?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to showcase the bucket list and get that check mark off. So if you see my feet in the air, you know it's happening.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about you guys. Sean, what do you got?
I know that I could never do any submission that required my feet going in the air. But that's why Liz Carmouche has been in the game at the highest level for so long. One more look at the women's flyweight bracket and the matchups. I cannot stress enough the pressure these women are under, because you either win and move on to the semifinals, or you lose and we'll see you in 2026. The voice of our SmartCage, Greg Hamilton, gets us going on the scale.
Hey, thank you, Sean, and thank you, gentlemen. You invited Coachman back, you invited me back, and I'm excited to be here. Let me tell you this. The energy is palpable here on the stage. Now, before the fist fly tomorrow night, we got to get the weigh-ins done. So to get things started, we need to please invite to the stage PFL's President of Fighter Operations. Please welcome Ray Sefo. We're going to get things started in the women's flyweight bracket, which will see Elora Dana versus Diana Avshadakova. Fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Diana Avshadakova. Diana Avshadakova officially weighing in at 125 and 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of the red corner, Elora Dana.
Undefeated jungle fight flyweight champion Elora Dana. She's going to try and get this fight to the floor very, very quickly. She's aggressive, but she's skilled to match.
Elora Dana officially weighing in at 124 and 1/2 pounds.
We start the night at 125 pounds. Dana Avshadakova.
And that makes it official. Elora Dana versus Diana Avshadakova tomorrow night live. Staying in the women's flyweight division, Kana Watanabe versus Jenna Bishop. Fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Jenna Bishop.
This is one of the fights that a lot of people are really excited about. Jenna Bishop, really high-level grappling against Kana Watanabe, who of course has got that strong judo background. I'm really interested to see how these two compete.
Jenna Bishop weighs in at 125½ pounds. Her opponent in the red corner, Kana Watanabe.
Watanabe is 33-1, comes out of Tokyo, Japan, 4th degree black belt in judo, amazing grappler, and no stranger to the SmartCage.
Kana Watanabe weighing in at 125¼ pounds.
Both of these women eyeing revenge. Bishop wants to get a rematch with Dakota Ditcheva. Watanabe wants a rematch with Liz Carmouche, who beat her with a Hail Mary armbar less than 10 seconds left last year.
It's official, Kana Watanabe versus Jenna Bishop tomorrow night. Next in the women's flyweight division, Juliana Velasquez versus Ekaterina Shakalova. Fighting out of the blue corner, first please welcome Ekaterina Shakalova.
First time in this weight class for Shakalova. She's made the weight. She came down from featherweight when she fought Aspen Ladd last year. She looks in incredible shape, and I think she's going to feel incredibly strong in this weight class.
Ekaterina Shakalova weighing in at 125¾ pounds. Her opponent fighting in the red corner, Juliana Velasquez.
Velasquez, a former champion in the Bellator weight class. She's got 5 KOs. On paper, this looks like grappler versus grappler, but those 5 KOs may tell you something different.
Juliana Velasquez with an official weight of 126 pounds.
Shakalova thought she was going to be an alternate in the weight class. Instead, she has an opportunity at a tournament championship and the $500,000 prize attached to it.
That makes it official. Tomorrow night, Juliana Velasquez will battle Ekaterina Shakalova. And your co-main event tomorrow night, we'll see Liz Carmouche versus Ilana Joanne. First, fighting out of the blue corner, Ilana Joanne.
Joanne, we talked to her in the fighter meetings. She said, I need to be smart and I need to be aggressive. I said, well, which comes more naturally? She said, aggressive.
Ilana Joanne weighing in at 124¾ pounds. Her opponent fighting out of the red corner, Liz Carmouche.
Liz is a former Marine, veteran in the sport, former champ in Bellator, one of the few champions from Bellator that chose to enter the global season last year.
Liz Carmouche standing in at a weight of 126 pounds.
Carmouche somehow looking even more shredded than is typical for Liz Carmouche. Still going strong at 41.
Your co-main event is now official. Liz Carmouche versus Ilana Joanne.
Translator's here. Translator's here. Ed, right here.
Hey, how are you? I'm really excited to see this fight. Of course, it's a big name in Liz Carmouche, but how are you feeling ahead of this one?
Tô me sentindo muito feliz e motivada. Enfrentar grande nome é mais uma motivação para dar tudo de mim nos treinos e nessa luta.
Feel very happy, extremely motivated, fighting a big name. It was all I needed to give it all during camp and obviously during the fight.
Now, I'm sure you're expecting a lot of wrestling from Liz Carmouche. Have you been working your takedown defense? And what are your options if she decides to wrestle?
Com certeza, eu venho trabalhando e fortalecendo minhas defesas de queda, como também minha ofensiva na queda. E eu acho que o meu diferencial para essa luta vai ser isso.
Absolutely. Been working a lot on my takedown defense as well as in being on the offense during a takedown and during, wrestling scramble. So I think that's going to be the differentiating factor in this fight.
I'm excited for you. Good luck. Coach, over to you.
Dan, thank you very much. Now, Liz, coming in this year, it's a tournament. It's not a regular season like before. Does that change your preparation, if at all?
No, not at all. I'm still coming, looking for that finish, trying to get it as soon as possible.
Now, you said it's important to you to get a finish. Not that it does you any good either way, but you said, I want it for myself. Why?
Absolutely. It's important to me to come out and make a statement. You know, when it goes down to decision, you're leaving it at the judges, and even if you think that you're 100%, you're good, you don't want to have that doubt. You don't have that questioning. A finish, a knockout, a submission, that leaves no doubts.
One half of the co-main event, Liz Carmouche. Thank you very much. Sean, let's send it back to you.
Let's take one more look at our women's flyweight bracket. Velasquez-Shakalova, winner will advance to take on the winner of Watanabe versus Bishop. Carmouche and Joanny in that co-main event. Whoever wins there will take on either Dana or Avsaragova. And the winner of that fight will be at an experience disadvantage in the semifinals. But you've only got one shot to perform tomorrow night and advance. We talked to fighters about what that means to them.
One shot means that I have to put everything on the line for it all tonight.
One shot means I need to finish every fight so that I can get to that championship.
One shot means one opportunity to change my life for the better. One opportunity to be world champion. One opportunity for greatness. Perfect. Oh my God.
All right, we button things up at flyweight. There was some chaos this morning in the bantamweight division, but here's what the bracket looks like. Igor Alves, Matos Hadley, Kasumov brings in that Dagestani lineage. Wetzel will have a tough one tomorrow night. Francesco Nuzzi against Gutierrez. Let's go with the 135 from Greg Hamilton.
Thank you, Sean. And first up in the bantamweight bracket, we will see Mateus Matos versus Jake Hadley. Fighting out of the blue corner, first, please welcome Jake Hadley.
This is a really exciting signing for the PFL. Jake Hadley, of course, people have been familiar with him from the UFC roster. He is a tough, durable fighter that always brings the excitement. I'm glad he's on the roster.
Jake Hadley weighing in at 135 3/4 pounds. His opponent in the red corner, Mateus Matos.
Mateus Matos has 14 victories. 12 of those have come by finish. 7 KOs and 5 submissions. Very, very well-rounded fighter out of Rio de Janeiro.
Mateus Matos officially weighing in at 135 1/2 pounds.
First fights of the bantamweight tournament. Matos versus Hadley. Winner moves on, loser goes home.
It's official for tomorrow night. Mateus Matos versus Jake Hadley.
It's going to be a violent one, that one.
Next in the bantamweight bracket, Kasumov versus Justin Wetzel. First fighting out of the blue corner, Justin Wetzel.
A really tricky individual with lots of experience on the regional scene. People are excited to see him get this shot. He trains with really high-level fighters, and I think he's going to be throwing constant attacks at his opponent, trying to break him, trying to find a way in.
Randy, what do you think of the hair?
That would get in the way. I haven't had to deal with that since I was in college.
Justin Wetzel weighing in at 138 1/2 pounds. His opponent in the red corner, Kasumov.
Kasumov has 16 victories to his credit out of the Team Nurmagomedov from Dagestan, an amazing group of individuals training in that gym.
Kasumov tips the scales at 136 pounds.
Being a product of the Nurmagomedov school doesn't just come with a bunch of wins. It comes with a mentality that even if your opponent misses weight, as Wetzel did, don't care, I'm fighting, I'm winning, I'm moving on towards a tournament championship. That was Kasumov's mentality here.
That's a serious stake.
It's official live in the SmartCage tomorrow night. Kasumov versus Justin Wetzel. Next in the bantamweight brackets, Francesco Nuzzi versus Mando Gutierrez. Fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Mando Gutierrez.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you which one of these bantamweight fights I'm more excited for. This one's walking down, I'm thinking to myself, my goodness, Gutierrez versus Nuzzi is going to be an absolute train wreck. Nuzzi's got that beautiful head kick knockout, but Gutierrez is going to stand his ground, bite down on his mouth guard, and give as good as he gets. This one's going to be fireworks as well, guys.
Mando Gutierrez weighs in at 135 3/4 pounds. His opponent fighting out of the red corner, Francesco Nuzzi.
Always exciting when the berserker steps into the cage. This guy's got 4 KOs and 3 submissions to his credit. Aurora Mixed Martial Arts out of Southern Italy.
Francesco Nuzzi weighs in at 135 1/2 pounds.
Aggressive style on both of these guys. Even the groundwork, if it goes to the ground, frenetic pace, violent grappling styles to go along with the intense strikings. Do not blink when these two fight.
It is official live tomorrow night. Francesco Nuzzi will battle Mando Gutierrez. And tomorrow night in your main event of the evening, Leandro Higo versus Marciele Alves. Fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Marciele Alves.
Another fighter, Randy, who thought he was here to fill that alternate spot in this bantamweight division. Went about his business, made weight, and gets a phone call. Hey, we need you to step in. We need you to step into the main event.
Exciting opportunity for sure.
Marciele Alves tips the scales at 136 pounds. His opponent in the red corner, Leandro Higo.
Alter Higo, I love that nickname, that's great. 13 submissions to this guy's credit. He trains with the Pitbull brothers and they're no strangers to the cage as well.
Leandro Higo stands in at a weight of 135 1/2 pounds.
Leandro Higo had 2 opponent changes in the last 3 weeks. He'll take all comers. He's on his way, he thinks, to a 2025 tournament championship in the PFL SmartCage.
It's official, your main event, live in the SmartCage tomorrow night. Leandro Higo versus Marciele Alves.
Marciele, it's a different opponent to what you were expecting, but now you're in the World Tournament and you can win the big money. How are you feeling?
Repetir, por favor. Oponente diferente, você agora está no GP e tem a chance de levar o cinturão e essa grana toda. Como é que você está se sentindo?
Estou me sentindo muito feliz, já estava preparado, esperando. Agora chegou o momento, aí ir lá e fazer o meu trabalho e dar mais um show para a galera aí.
Extremely happy. I was already prepared and just waiting for the opportunity. Opportunities come around and I'm going to seize it. I'm going to put on a hell of a show and entertain the fans.
And what is your message to these bantamweights? Why are you the guy that's going to win the tournament?
Galera, eu cheguei. Fiquem ligados, hein? Vou levar esse cinturão para casa.
I've arrived. The champ is here. I'm going to take this belt back home.
I'm excited for you, my friend. Good luck. See you tomorrow. Coach, over to you.
Hey, Dan, I like the confidence. I really, really do. Let's bring the translator over here, Leandro Higo. You've had your opponent change multiple times in the last couple of weeks. Has that changed your prep at all?
Não mudei nada. Todos entram, todos saem e eu me mantenho aqui firme, feito uma rocha. Let's go, boys. Estou pronto. Let champ stay here.
No, nothing changes on my preparation. All sorts of changes around me, but I'm here, firm as a rock. Let's go.
And you stay in the main event. What can the people at home? You're going to be the last fight of the night. Any pressure there?
O main event sempre é o mais esperado e eu estou pronto para tudo. Eu vou dar show para todo mundo. Eu sou o dono dessa casa agora. Acabou essa brincadeira.
This is my house. It's the main event. It's the most anticipated fight of the night, and I'll make sure it stays that way. I'm going to deliver.
All right, very good. Best of luck. Thank you very much. Sean, let's send it back over to you.
Thank you, Coach. One more look at the bantamweight bracket. You see the matchups for tomorrow night. You see the potential matchups for the winners. Ego understanding the assignment in the main event. You saw all those submission finishes on the resume, but remember, this man represents the Pitbull Brothers gym, which means when it is on the feet, he's got that reckless abandon, he's got that crazy style. And a lot of those submissions, Dan, as you well know, have come because he's already separated someone from at least half of their senses.
At least half of their senses. But this is what's really interesting about this. Of course, on one side, you've got the Pitbull Brothers with that signature aggression. And on the other side, you've got Shooter Box. Their signature is aggression. I mean, if that's not going to deliver in this fight, I don't know what is. Both of these guys were expecting to fight different people. They've been hanging out this week. They've been helping each other out, prepare. Now they've got to face each other, and there's a lot of money on the line. I think we're going to get a real standout performance from both of them, and I think they're both going to hit a new level.
Well, it's a great point. Marcelo Alves came in, and he was supposed to be the alternate, as we mentioned, and now the biggest fight of his life against the best opponent of his life, but the pressure all lies on the shoulders of Leandro Ego, and so Alves gets to fight free.
Alves gets to fight free, and one of his heroes, Vanderlei Silva, with that reckless abandon from Shootbox, he's going to bring all of that into the SmartCage tomorrow night. It's going to be remarkable to see who has their way.
I want to go back to the women's flyweight bracket. Liz Carmouche is still here. Liz Carmouche and I are the same age. I've been retired for going on 7 years. My body's hurting every day. Liz Carmouche is still an absolute machine. And with more on that, Kennedy Smith.
Thanks, Sean. Guys, I had a chance to sit down with Liz Carmouche earlier today, and she said that at 41, she's feeling the best she ever has in her entire career. Now, the key to that transformation this year was getting a whole new team. She's got a new strength coach, a new nutritionist, and they've completely changed her routine. She said she feels stronger than ever, and being able to give up the details like planning your strength workouts and counting your macros has given her so much mental freedom. She can sit back and actually enjoy this sport once again, and she plans to keep doing so as long as her body is going to let her. And now over to Coach with a little bit more on Jenna Bishop. Coach?
Kennedy, thank you very much. Now, everybody in this new look PFL that we have, we want fighters that lean into themselves, that want to have a good time, that have great personalities. Well, that's exactly what we have with Jenna Bishop. And I sat down with her yesterday, part of Coach's Conversations, and she did not disappoint, but she also let us know she has a little bit of a shopping vice roll tape.
You're entertaining outside of the cage and inside the cage. All of a sudden, you can now become a fighter that everybody wants to watch sing. Where does your personality and having fun come from?
I mean, it's just me. Like, for me, like, I'm at my best when I'm just, like, being myself. And when I'm having fun and when I'm happy, that's when I fight my best. We're gonna cut weight tonight. I gotta make that fun, because otherwise you're just suffering. Like, we do weight cut karaoke. That's, like, a new thing that me and Angela Hill, we started doing that, like, with each other. It's a good time, and, you know, having fun. Like, if I'm not having fun, like, why am I even
What's
doing
the point?
it? You know, what's the point?
All right, now I understand my crew was a little rude to you about, you know, the sunglasses. I mean, what can we do?
Jenna, can we lose the glasses?
I guess.
But you're known for that. Like, where are the sunglasses? Oh, interesting.
They're always here.
They're always here.
I got these ones yesterday. I have an obsession with sunnies, so I told my husband, though, it's a good thing that I have an obsession with sunglasses and not handbags, because those are way more expensive. I'm saving him money every time he buys these.
I'm sure that's how he looks at it, too.
Girl math.
Exactly.
I really wanted to know what it felt like. These are straight from the Jenna Bishop collection. They are straight Versace. And I don't know, Dan Hardy, I know you know all about the Versace. Let's send it back over to you, and don't tell me how good I look or how good I sound. Boys?
You look like a Terminator, my friend. You look terrified.
I don't know, Coach. I think you're a little Stevie Wonder-ish there, buddy.
I think Jenna might pull those off just a little bit better than you do, Coach. Randy, we got to get on the sunglass train.
Yeah, I guess we got to. I didn't get the memo.
Here's what I need to know. The go-to Randy Couture karaoke song.
Oh, what is it?
Come on. Hanging out with you guys, friends in low places, of course.
Let's take a look at the early card tomorrow. We'll start the action at 9 Eastern on ESPN+. Women's flyweights looking to punch their ticket to the semifinals. Mateus Matos and Jake Hadley will do the same in the bantamweight division. And then your main card, 11 o'clock Eastern, as we work toward that co-main event featuring Liz Carmouche and Ilara Joani, Leandro Higo, Marceli Alves in the main event. One shot to keep your tournament hopes alive. One opportunity in Orlando, Florida to punch your ticket to the semifinals. And of course, keep chasing that beautiful gold PFL tournament belt. The business tonight is done. That means all we have left to do is walk to the SmartCage and fight. That will happen tomorrow. Join us at 8:30 Eastern for the pre-show. We'll see you then.